Well, 9 years ago now at the U.S. Women's Open at Pinehurst, Michelle Wie West had her breakthrough in a major championship. Tied for the lead after 54 holes, Wie West came home with a birdie on number 17 and a par on 18, shooting a final round even par 70 to win by 2 shots over Stacey Lewis. She was the only player under par that week, and we will quite frankly never forget it. And a child prodigy, a global superstar, and a story of a woman whose achievements were shrouded by mystery of what could have been. Michelle Wie West has certainly experienced the peaks and valleys of professional golf. This week, the 2014 U.S. Women's Open champion will say farewell to professional golf right here at Pebble Beach, as Terry Gannon has her story.
The poise for a 12-year-old is phenomenal.
There was this aura about her that people just wanted to see.
Michelle Wie continues her meteoric rise to superstar.
It felt like she could be what Tiger was to men's golf.
A flowing swing, a pure natural ability. She just couldn't get enough of it.
To try to become the best golfer in the world, I'm just going to practice harder than ever.
In October of 1989, a baby girl was born in Honolulu to South Korean immigrants Byung-wook and Bo Wee. A few years later, she began playing golf.
I remember asking her how good she thought she could be someday, and she said, "I think I can be as good as Tiger Woods." She was 9.
I met Michelle when she was 11. I said, what do you hope to do? And she said, I want to play in the Masters. And her father, BJ, was standing next to her, and he said, she's just kidding. And I'm looking at Michelle thinking, I don't think she is.
She became the youngest to ever Monday qualify for an LPGA Tour event. She is here, the 12-year-old from Honolulu.
The 7th grader is very mature for her age. She's 5 feet 10 tall.
It was clear that Michelle Wie was heading down a path very few in history had traveled. The path of a prodigy.
Are you nervous about being on TV?
No, not really, I guess.
You never get nervous about anything, do you?
No, I get really nervous on tests, though. My hand shakes.
Honolulu, the site of the 2004 Sony Open in Hawaii and the first full field event of the year on the PGA Tour. The big news this week is 14-year-old Michelle Wie.
She grew up in Hawaii. She played against the guys all the time anyway. So going and playing in a PGA Tour event wasn't a big deal to her.
She is handling things awfully well right now. Look at this. Made it!
She's a girl, and she shot 68 in a PGA Tour event.
I kind of question whether somebody who needed adult supervision to drive a golf cart should be playing in our field, but she's been really impressive.
Beat me by a couple that week. Was making the game look so easy.
After rounds of 72 and 68, Wie beat 47 men, including the reigning U.S. Open and Open champions, but ultimately missed the cut by 1.
Give it to me a couple more years, and I think I can play out here.
The women of the LPGA Tour had a harder time with her ambition from the standpoint of, look what you could do for us if you stuck here, instead of thinking big.
I'm okay with women trying to break barriers, but at the same time, you have to continue to build where you're coming from. You have to build, the LPGA Tour. You have to build women's golf.
6 days before her 16th birthday, Wie turned professional.
Now armed with those huge endorsement deals, an estimated a total as much as $10 million.
She's more ready than I was. In either case, so she'll be fine.
It was a unique sort of pressure that I'm not sure was the best thing for her.
Learning sometimes the hard way, sometimes the heartbreaking way, what it takes to win on women's golf's biggest stage.
She finished second a few times on the LPGA Tour early, and the press, I remember them asking me, here, she's finished second. I said, yeah, but second's a lot different than first.
Living under immense scrutiny, Wie struggled to fulfill the promise that had once seemed inevitable. After a couple of years on tour and no wins, she decided to enroll at Stanford University, where she experienced new independence and a sense of normalcy.
Hello, welcome to my school.
The effect was palpable. In 2009, she snagged her first professional win.
Michelle Wie is finally a champion.
Followed by another in 2010. By 2014, her game and mindset had matured. She won the Lotte Championship in April and headed to Pinehurst in June for the U.S. Women's Open.
You know, this is probably as good as Michelle has looked on a golf course.
I was in the tower at Pinehurst, and we're not supposed to root, no rooting, but man, I was rooting for her that day.
How about that for a win? What a journey this has been.
To kind of prove everybody wrong, to prove everybody that kind of doubted her, that why are you getting all this attention? You know, you don't deserve it, you haven't done anything. And she went out there and proved everybody wrong.
Oh my God, I can't believe it's happening.
Wie won on the LPGA Tour again in 2018 before meeting Johnny West, son of NBA legend Jerry West. The two married a year later and welcomed a baby girl.
When you look at the eyeballs that she brought to women's golf and look at what she's doing now in terms of being a tournament host, she has become a pretty strong contributor and voice in the game.
Some would say Michelle Wie never lived up to her potential. Others would say she achieved so much more. As the 2023 U.S. Women's Open heads to Pebble Beach for the first time, Wie chose to take her final walk as a professional golfer.
Do I miss competing? Like 100%. You know, I miss being out here, but at the same time, I think I've played enough.